Miss Samaniego.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, just really busy, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say about Josh and everything.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. Josh is a joy to have in our first grade classroom.
Good to know.
He is always excited and always positive about learning. From the second that he walks in, he has a big smile on his face, and it just cheers up everyone's day immediately.
Good.
Does he read a lot of Dr. Seuss books at home?
You know, he does. He has, probably the whole collection. I think it's his favorite, and it makes him, want to read, even though he sometimes may not want to always for homework and that kind of stuff, so.
Every morning when he comes in, he'll be like, Miss Trulby, look at this new Dr. Seuss book I bought, and it's always so exciting just to see him getting interested in stuff like that. But what we're going to talk about today is a series of assessments that we've been doing throughout the entire school year. So they're just a really good way to measure his achievement and how well he's progressing in the first grade.
Awesome.
So the first thing that we focus on is phonemic awareness.
Okay, what exactly is phonemic awareness?
Okay, so phonemic awareness is the letter sound elements of reading.
Okay.
So one of the things that he performs very well in this category is rhyming. So I'm assuming he might get that from those Dr. Seuss.
I see that definitely helping a lot.
So one of the things obviously was rhyming. So he said it was even easy for him. So that was very good to hear. And
yeah.
I like that he enjoys that as well. Something that we should probably work on with him is identifying word pairs with the same initial sound.
Okay.
So words that start the same and then have a different ending.
Okay.
He kind of had a hard time distinguishing those words. So what we could do is make flashcards with the same initial sounds and then pair them up with endings.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so that was one of the first things that we did, and he did a really great job overall on that. The second thing that we focused on was phonics. And he pronounced 9 out of the 10 of the nonsense words correctly. So that was really great for a first grader. And he's also very confident in reading. Is that something that you see at home?
I do. He doesn't mind, reading aloud at all? Or,
no, not at all.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, sometimes kids get, anxious, especially reading to the teacher. I feel like it could just be a little... He was fine the entire time, so it was great.
Good to know.
Some things that we can work on is the short I sound. So, for example, the words that he mispronounced were wid, cliss, and thrist, and he said them with a long I, like wide or thrice.
Okay.
So something that we can work on is separating long I and short I words into categories and having him place them into different categories.
Make it more like a game.
Yeah, exactly. So that he can identify which words are long I and short I. The next thing that we focused on was vocabulary. And in the first and second grade vocabulary lists, he demonstrated an 80% mastery. So that's great. So being an end of the year first grader, having 80% of the words correct was awesome. And even as a second grader, that's even better. Yeah. So we were very proud of him for that. Something that we can focus on are the definitions that he's giving. They're not always very clear, which can sometimes be hard even as adults.
Yes.
Defining words, sometimes you just can't put the words together to say what they mean. But he could always give them to me in a sentence, which was great. So it tells me that he understands what it means. He just sometimes has a hard time explaining it. So one thing that we can do is discuss synonyms and antonyms in different ways to better understand the words.
Okay.
Another thing that we focused on was fluency. And fluency is quickly and accurately reading sentences with proper expression.
Okay.
So he did great in this. He read at a third grade independent level.
Oh, good to know.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So does he read a lot at home?
He does. He mostly reads, I would say, either for school or maybe at nighttime before we go to bed.
Okay.
He likes to read at least 1 or 2 books before he goes to
yes,
bed.
It definitely shows.
Yeah.
Something that we could focus on is maybe slowing down the pace of him reading.
Okay.
Well, the assessment was timed, so I'm not sure if that could have been a factor as to why he was rushing.
Okay.
Why he was rushing through, but he seemed to get a little caught up in some words, a little tongue twister when we were going through. But overall, he did great. One of the things we can help him improve with is recognizing words instantly. So that will help with his fluency, so he doesn't have to struggle on that word. He'll be able to just read the passage fluently. And the last assessment that we measured was comprehension. And comprehension is the understanding and interpretation of what is read. Okay. So when the student has a better fluency and can read more fluently, they'll have a better understanding of comprehension. Okay. One of his strengths that he could correctly put a story in order after we read it, from the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that was awesome for first graders. Sometimes they jump around, and that's fine, but he could correctly say what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened in the end. Just some things that we should focus on are the details that he provides. Okay. So they would be very short details.
When it comes to characters, what happens exactly.
Exactly. Okay. They were just very brief, and I'd ask him if he could tell me a little bit more about that, and he said that was all that happened. Okay. So that was just something that we could really work with him on. Overall, in first grade, though, he seems to be doing a phenomenal job.
Good.
I'm very proud of him.
Awesome.
I think in second grade, he'll do a phenomenal job. I think he's ready.
That's really great to hear. It's very comforting as a parent.
Yeah, I think he's definitely up there. Do you have any questions for me?
You know, I don't think I do. Being that you said that he is reading at grade level, it's awesome to hear. Other than that,
he's reading above grade level.
Okay, awesome. So other than that, I think that he sounds like he's getting caught up and he's ready to move on, and he's, if anything, excelling. Yeah. So that's great to know.
So just a couple things for the summer, just a couple of things we talked about. You could just review with him just to keep him up to par.
Okay.
Keep reading with him. That's awesome, especially throughout the summer. Sometimes the kids go backwards a little bit. We want him to keep going forward. Well, thank you for
I really appreciate you meeting with me. I appreciate it. It was a big help, and I can take all the information back home and work with him.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.